I got a join code. I was getting grief over just going to room 1 during my last broadcast. I wasn't sure if this VIP lounge was part of the 40% still underway, but it's apparently there. The code V7F79. We'll wait and see if somebody shows up. I put that up on Twitter. I put it in the Discord, the official Discord for Blockchain Brawlers. It's 10 minutes shy of midnight Eastern time in the United States. NFL game. Cowboys victorious over the New York Giants tonight. It just wrapped up. So when that hit 0 on the clock, I got this thing cranked up, ready to go. But now here's the quandary. I can't just jump into room 1 without abandoning this room that I'm in now. And I'm not 100% sure that I'm even set up properly in that VIP lounge. So I don't know. The music just a little bit. Did some filtering for the microphone within OBS Studio. I had my audio the longest time, really. It was just very much set up poorly by my own design, not intentionally. Trying to figure out what's wrong, because I think that my Sony television that I've had since I first moved back to Huntington, West Virginia, my second run in the TV news business, it's going back more than 10 years. And for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to play audio out of the television for anything plugged in with an HDMI cable. Over-the-air television, no problem. So I've had to get a little creative with it. And there are ways I could get a separate audio output, but it's just an inconvenience I have to deal with. So now we'll see. Because before, I wasn't able to really filter out some of the, not the buzzing, just the ambient noise of being near electronics like this. And on top of it, it's going to blow my voice out. I've got the compressor boosting it a lot now, so I'm not having to just really lay in there with it. Well, I don't know if this is working or not with this. I'll go to room 1. You've seen I tried. Maybe I'm just not VIP enough for them. Got to slum it out in Gen Pop. Oh, is it because I didn't know it? I was going to say, did I not pick a wrestler? But there's Scotty Wide-Eye there in the end. Okay. V7F79. Now, if I X out of this, let's see what happens. Oh, right here. Hosting private room. I don't know if it wasn't open until just now. I would have peaked the microphone too much. I hate doing this live in the middle of a broadcast, trying to work with my audio, but until I really get to the flow of something, it's hard to know for sure. I'm not sure how much longer the open beta is going to last. It might not be for very long, maybe a couple of more days. I believe there's a tournament of some sort being talked about for Wednesday, late afternoon U.S. time. I was actually concerned because I got on the Discord to post a note real quick about the room ID, and there was a post from earlier that had said the start time was going to be 4 p.m. Eastern. Well, at 3 p.m. Eastern, I've got a dentist appointment on Wednesday. So that extra 2 hours, or whatever the difference is, I definitely will need. And well, I guess it's not going to be at 4 Eastern as I had feared. Just a miscommunication. Part of the challenge with this, it's great that you can work with people around the world, people that are amazingly creative. But the flip side is trying to communicate sometimes is tough. And that includes time zones. Not that the United States is very good at that to begin with. It's 4 major time zones and daylight saving time and 1,000 headaches that go with that. Well, I guess while I decide to have me be a good host, I'll glance through here. As noted before, for this open beta, it's 6 wrestlers. You can use any of them. You don't have to unlock anything. This is all free. It's not nothing that will carry over to the actual game when it starts. But you can see with the brawl, the in-game currency, and the XP experience. Gold is another element as well within the game on the Web3 side, but I'm not sure how that's going to be involved with the interface of the game. But this is available as an open beta on Steam. Blockchain Brawlers. So I'm now in 10th place, or tied for 9th, depending on how you want to spin it. There's the number one on the list who actually played and beat on last night's stream. All right, well, I'm not going to hang out here all day in my own room. Okay, out. Do it this way. Room 1. I'm post an update here. Task of doing this within OBS Studio, a little daunting for me. I wouldn't mind just waiting a few minutes in that private room or whatever however it's termed. But I can't definitively say that it's working properly. I'm not just stuck in a lobby that nobody else can get into. So we'll go here. The difficulty is that at this time of night for the United States, got a lot of people that have already gone to bed. Over in Europe, people that may not be up yet. If nothing else, I'll find out how this works with the music on a loop. I've got some of the music I originally got to use as arena music for NHL 04 Rebuilt, but I had so much trouble with that game, my hands hurting. And I'm not sure if it's carpal tunnel or repetitive use. I do a lot of typing for years as a TV news producer, a lot of typing. And as a publisher and a writer and all that now, I continue to do a lot of typing. So I got the 90-second heave-ho from the room 1. We'll try it again. So I had quite the selection of music for use and that wouldn't get me dinged on Twitch or YouTube. And for the most part, it's been accurate in the descriptions, like Creative Commons, etc. There have been a couple of songs that got phantom dings, but I figured them out. And we'll see. You never know with that stuff. I'm very sus when it comes to believing companies that have the power with that, because it's a very concentrated amount of power. The way this game works, if this doesn't work as far as a human opponent in the room 1 lobby, I'll play against the computer at least once as a demonstration. You have 2 cards that you are dealt. You get dealt, I guess, 3 cards to start the game. You pick 2. It's easier to demonstrate while I'm playing versus trying to do step by step off the top of my head. It looks like nobody's in here. All right. Exhibition match against the computer opponent. Both have 25 points. The winner's the one who has points when the other hits 0. If you both hit 0 at the same time, there are different rules. You're dealt 3 cards to start with. You got to play 2 of them. You want your second card to be the same or higher points-wise than your first, unless you want to do is known as flexing. And I can explain what that is. A 7 and an 8, I'm going to beat, or at least, yeah, I will beat anything they have because at most they can get 14. I've got 15 right here. They put in at 1. It's a computer opponent, so it's not as much of a tell when they do something. The computer bot is not necessarily a clever player, which is fine because the idea is that you'll learn in the game. They went for a flex. See how that first card was higher than their second. Now, if I would have folded there for whatever reason, that flex would have doubled their point meter. Point meter is the number underneath the icon. Like here for me, it went from 1 to 2. If you lose in a showdown, when you go head-to-head and neither side folds, the loser has his or her power meter dropped. 1, 3 up against a 2. It's kind of a weird spot here, but there's better off just folding. I guess the 2, 7, that's a 9, and 9 would have beaten 4. Not the best cards here. Drop here 2, 4. Rid of it. You know what? Against an 8, maybe I won't. Because that's probably a flex. Because the only other card they can put with an 8 that's not a flex is another 8. The flex being your first card being higher, point value-wise, than your second. Folded. Either points-wise, my 2 cards combined were already behind the 8. If that was an 8-7 or an 8-3 or whatever, that first card being higher, because that's what's known as flexing, my hand would have won. Because the points don't come into play when there's a flex on one side and not a flex on the other. Like if it's 7-5, that's a flex. Also not a very good play. Up against the 7 here. A couple things could bite. This could be 7-7 or 7-8. Otherwise, they're probably going for a flex. But it's the computer, so it can't really take logic into it too much. It's not really built for logic. It's a flex. I win the hand regardless. That's 1 point fewer for me, but they flexed, I didn't. And you see, very fast-paced, this game. It's fun. At least it has been for me thus far. Going a 1-3, unless they've got a 7 or an 8, I'm probably going to fold against a 4. That could go either direction. When you've got a higher power meter than your opponent, it behooves you to fold at times. Play conservatively, protect that power meter. The flip side is if you go ahead and fold, and that'd be like a 4-3, that would be a flex. Plus, you get a bonus point if you win with either a 3 or a 1 card within your 2. So pretty crummy cards. 2, 4. But are protecting that for the next hand. That's the correct plays. The computer would have beat me if I had gone in. Heads up. Plus, with the fold, I'll now get 6 cards in total in my hand. That's as many. That's the max. You cap at 6. That's the advantage when you fold. You get an extra card for your next game. A lot of strategy to this. All right. 5, 7. We get an 8. Unless it's double 8. And it could be. Called me on the doubler. They've got a 5 on their power meter, so it's not easy. So they flexed. I win. Round. 8 points of damage knocks them down to 7. I've got a 21-7 lead. My power meter goes to 5. Theirs drops to 1. One, 3. 2. Fold. I guess we both folded. I didn't really see what they did. Okay. 5, 6. Will this be enough? I guess an 8. Either that's a pair of 8s, and my streak will, or my power meter will be broken, or I'm just going to outright win the match here. Well, they may choose. They went with 2, so this is for the win if I get it. They flexed. I won. We both have 11 total between those cards. But the non-flexing hand always beats a flexing hand if they go and do a showdown like this. And that's the pin. That's the other 40% they're still putting in a lot of the animations, the emotes, that sort of thing. All right, let's see if there's anybody in room 1. Some of my background music's louder than others. The song choices have something to go. The actual game itself will have music. Well, that could be another problem altogether as far as clearances go. And here we go. BTAC. Based off my last screen. Now here we go again. All right. 2-4. Let's fold this first hand. They'll win with 1 if it's a. Well, we'll see, maybe more than 1 if they get a 2-7, but it's a winner. So 1 point of damage to me. BTAC's power meter goes to 2. All right. Not get this out of order. 6-8's pretty good. 3, they're probably going to fold. Nope. They put in 2 as well. I've got the round regardless of what they have. (14/11). I win round 2. 24-23 lead. That reset their power meter. Mine is at 2. There. Now, could be a flex here. Only way I can win this hand is if this is a flex or if they fold. BTAC fold. And we'll find out here. It was a flex. I win the hand. The only way that would have been a win for BTAC is if that would have been a 7 or an 8, the second card. Otherwise, it's a flex. A non-flexing hand always wins a flexing hand when it comes to the showdown. My power meter moves to 3. BTAC stays at 1. I lead 24-19. 2-4 special here. Throw this into the rubbish bin. That was the correct play. 2-7 would have beat me. Because I folded, I get the extra card on the next hand, and my power meter remains intact at 3. Lead by 4. I have 5 cards in total for this next hand to choose from. Got this for sure. Let's go for a 3. In for 2, you're probably in for 3. Indeed, so that's going to be my round. Tripler on a 3, that's 9. I think that'll knock me down to what? 10? Close. 16-15. There are no 9s. 23-10 lead. My power meter's at 4. Playing really tight. Let's see if I can get a flex here. The BTAC sitting on a 5-1 or a 5-3, I win. We'd both be flexing. We're going to 3. Why not? This would be for the win for me if I hit it. That was the wrong play. So, but only 3 damage. Power meter will drop back to 1. So it's now 20-10. I've got the lead. But a little different now. 2-4. Nothing to lose from hanging in there. Well, you know what? I can get a Another card. I get 6 cards in total if I fold here. And I'm due some high cards. I think. I'd like to think so. Fold, we both fold. That's fine. 7 and 7. All right, 7 against the 5. I can't lose unless I fold. Fold by B-Tap. Only 1 point of damage. Power meter goes back to 2. 20 to 9. 11-point lead. We'll see what 2 cards show up here. A pair of 7s. I'll go with that. Against a 6. At worst, it'll be a push. We're going for a doubler. The round 14 to 13. Only 2 points of damage. I lead now 20 to 5. Power meters at 3. Another doubler here, and I would take the round. But throw this one out. Could be a 5-3 or a 5-1. Probably is, actually. Wouldn't surprise me. It's a flex. It's double the damage. Your power meter gets multiplied by 2. There's a flex. A flex is where your first card is higher than your second card, value-wise. All right, 6, 7. Four. This will be for the win if he calls. If he goes for 2 or 3, it won't matter. I'll call him folded. So 2 points. $18 to 2. He's got to go for it here. He folds unless I also were to fold. Fold here against the 6. It's an 8, so that was the right play. I would have lost that round. Now it's 16 to 2. That leads down to 14 points, but 6, 7. Let's see. Up against the 6. See, that would be, if that beats me, it can't be a flex if it beats me. Unless it's, no. But it could be like a 6-8 here. This could be a 9-point hit of damage on me. But it's a 1, it's a flex, and I win the round. And the match. The 1, 2, 3, and that's the mat. And again, this is the open beta form of Blockchain Brawlers on Steam. And these are basically just demonstrations of what the actual game itself might be like when you win a player versus player match. 150 brawl, the in-game currency, 200 extra XP or experience points, credit for a win. Going back to room 1. there's some times where it might seem strange to go with something like a 7-5, where the flex and you could lose to a 1-2. Flex being where your first card is higher than your second card. But if you're going up against like somebody with a 7 and a 1 or a 7 and a 3, then you can get the edge on them. You almost have to like guess when your opponent might be flexing. The way this lobby is set up, after 90 seconds, it'll give me the heave ho, and I'll give it another try. This is not an ideal time as far as finding opponents goes, but scheduling wise, this is the way it worked out for me. Must have a music track that's really playing low on this one here. My headset is sounding like silence. Free to turn it up, and then it'll be just blasting me. I'm not hearing anything. Stand by, please. Let's see if this works a little bit better. It's a bit frustrating to me trying to get this all to work, because I know what it should sound like to have professional sounding audio. But getting to that point, but easier said than done. But I think what the setup that I've got right here, I think this will be a better spot than it was before. And here we go with Ice-ish. All right. Let's start with a 5-8. 3, they can't take this round. This could be just a fold. Popular, I guess, with players in the closed beta, which I was not part of. That apparently at that point, folding early was particularly popular. Let's say I had a 5-1 there. If I would have folded thinking that was something that could have beat me, and that was like a 3-3, that would have been a nice spot. Limited options as far as that goes. 2, 3, I'll probably fold this hand. Up against a 2, but part of the advantage when you fold is you get an extra card for that next hand, and that goes up to 6 cards total. So I had 3 cards in my hand for this folding. I'll have, as a result, 4 cards in total, 3 additional coming in for round number 3. And that was the right move to fold. See there? They put in it for a tripler because I folded. They got that single or level 1. You know, it's now 4 cards. 6, 8. Okay, it's either an 8 and 8 or it's a flex. I don't want to scare them off too bad. They're going for a 3. It's only presenting like they got something. If it's an 8, they win the round. Otherwise, I win the round. Flex. That's a crippler on the 2 power meter level there. 6 points of damage in total. My power meter goes to 3, and I'll leave 24 to 18. Ooh, we'll go with the 5-8. Probably going to fold that 1 out there against the 5. They may stick around to see if I'm. This wouldn't have been the worst time to go for a flex. And not expecting it. They folded, which was the right move. Now they'll get an extra card to start their next game. Let's see the back and forth of it. 3 points of damage. My power meter now at 4. I lead 24-15. Pair of 7s. That's pretty nice. 5. Let's go triple and act like I'm overcompensating for trying to hide a flex. That's not the case at all. They're going 3 as well, so they have to entice anybody on that. That's going to be a tripler on the 4. 12 points of damage. I'll be down to 3. All right, 24-3. They just have to lose to me once here. Even if they fold, unless they can break my power meter before then, I'm going to do a 1-3 here. I'll probably fold. If not, if that was an 8, I would have thought about it. Otherwise, I'll just fold it. No need to engage here. They'll just get the 1 point unless there's a flex. It's not, so it's 1 point of damage. The power meter goes to 2, but I still maintain a very strong 23-3 lead. Power meter for me is at 5. I've got an 8 right here. I've got 4 cards coming in my hand, or 3. I got a pair of 8s, so I've got the win. Can't be beat. Unless I fold. Go in the triple just so I don't misclick something. Good game, Isish. The 1, 2, 3. And this is part of the animation that will be a lot more robust once the full game is released. This is the open beta version. Blockchain Brawlers. Available on Steam. Have a key. Sticking with Scotty Wide-Eye. Back to room 1. But to me, this has been an overwhelming success as far as demonstrating how strong the gameplay is, how much fun you can have both playing it and live streaming. Last night I had some people in chat that, and it's, somebody could watch my stream, stream sniping. But I mean, if you want to beat me that bad at something, then okay. I'm 45 years old. I can take a loss. I don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore. But, come on, let's play straight up. Now, something like the tournament that's been talked about, now that I could record and then put on YouTube later. Twitch, when I first got into Twitch, it was like right before they made some changes that, oh man, like you used to be able to upload videos. And it used to let you save videos indefinitely. And then some changes were made. And I understand why. You have terabytes and terabytes of space for videos that nobody's going to ever go back and watch again. At some point, that adds up, even for a company as large as Amazon. We'll cycle through the room again. If nobody's in there, I'll do another exhibition match against the computer. This game has a remarkable way of reminding me in some ways of like the Civilization series. Like just one more round. Or for mobile gamers, like a game like Retro Bowl, which has a lot of similarities to the all-time classic Tecmo Super Bowl for the Nintendo. But what Blockchain Brawlers has is a very strong, very fun to play strategy game that's themed with pro wrestling. I can only imagine what most Americans think of pro wrestling right now, when for many of them, all they've known is the bizarre, strange, and often off-putting world of Vince McMahon. Get the hell out of here. Hit the bricks, dude. And this is for the people leaving AEW, going back to WWE, going back to Shawshank. Have fun. The assistant's now in charge. But the old man is still the largest stockholder in that company. So remember that. You're spending money on WWE. It felt like WWE felt like they were almost untouchable. And I can tell you from working in both sports and regular hard news journalism broadcasting for years, it seemed that way. Nobody cared. Because hard news, oh, what's that pro wrestling, that fake pro wrestling stuff, blah, blah, blah. And they've already forgotten it, moved on to the next story. Snow and surf. Sports doesn't want to cover stuff that's a work, so they tend to ignore it. And so it falls, it's too lowbrow for entertainment news, except for like when The Rock posts something on Instagram. Let's see, we'll start with a 7-8 here, a nice start. Up against the 7 there, this could be a nice trap for them. I'll go with a crippler. They might bite on that right away. They will. At worst, it's a draw. It's a draw, so we both connect. But the one thing that they had to not do was run afoul of Wall Street, the stock market. You mess with the stock market, they never forget, and they don't just let it go after 2 weeks. There's something new in the news cycle. 2-4. I will likely fold this against the 6. I could stick around because that might be a flex, but I'd rather get the extra card out of the fold. When you fold, you get an extra card in your next hand up to 6 cards total, and that stays that way for the duration of the match. So there's definitely some strategy on when to fold as far as where it puts you when the cards really matter. That was a flex, so it was actually the wrong play for me to fold. They get the flex, and it was a doubler on it too, so not the worst thing to get hit with there. Five, 8, 4. They can't beat me this round. They'll probably fold. A lot of times a 4 against a 5 will fold. Nope. 4-3. Okay, you're not going to beat me this round. Slapped in the face. Three points of damage. I had one of my power meter. The tripler was in effect there. It's the betting element. Like Texas Hold'em. Oh, that's 2-4. Maybe they'll be throwing out an 8. 7. That's a 2. This is almost insurance against them having a. You know what? Let's stick with it. Let's see what they do. They're going with a 3. Let's see. Find out. It could be like a 2-7 or a 2-6. They're not going. Oh. Let's find out. $2-8. Calling was not the right play there with a 2-4. But not the end of the world. I'm down 19-17. Their power meter's only at 2. We're at 7-7. Playing kind of aggressive, but doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to tighten up now. Up against an 8. Either an 8 and 8, or I've got the round. One in the tripler. Let's see. It's an 8 and 8, so be it. So it's 6 damage in total because of the tripler with the 2 on the power meter. I can afford to take a chance here. We'll go 6-1. It's a flex. The only way I can beat a 1 here is if I can get the person to fold. And no. They folded too. I should have stuck around. Oh well. All right, 7 and 8's pretty tough for them to stop. up against the 5. Go in with a tripler, make them think I'm trying to bully them out of the play. They're going to call me on it, so only 3 points of damage to them, but that's a nice tripler to break their streak up. The power meter at 3 will go back to 1. And we'll see later with the sound quality. I can already tell from the microphone, looking at my side here. It's OBS Studio. My vocal range is where it's supposed to be. I'm not having to strain my voice too much to get it to fit within the meter. Oh, okay, this is nice. Here, pair of 8s. We'll limp in. Not really limping in. Go with the doubler. See what they do. They folded. The right time to fold. Down by 3, but my power meter's now at 3. 2, 3. It's a 5. Only 1 with a power meter. Maybe it's a flex, but don't want to chance it on this hand. Not with a 2, 3. They went in with a tripler. That was correct to fold there. My streak stays intact. My power meter at 3. And they moved to 2, but it's still close margin. They lead by 4. Ooh, brutal. Brutal. 2, 3. 4. See what they have. All right, so I made the right move by folding that hand. That round. 2 points of damage. Sad violin does a run in. 14 to 8. Down by 6. I can go with a 1-3. We'll catch on something high. Let's see what they got. If they got a 7 or an 8, they win. If not, I take the lead. They win. That's the match. That's the 1, 2, 3, and that's it. No one surf gets the victory. No rewards. Back to room 1. And a rematch with Snow and Surf. One, 2, be easy to throw out here. It's the 1. Folds. It's tempting to go in just to see what they've got. I mean, it'll show me anyway, unless they fold as well. But more important, they'll get the extra card for the next round. Have that advantage for the rest of the match. That's part of why early folding was popular, from what I read about the play in the closed beta days. So 4-3, they would have won. That was a 1 and a 3, so they won with that. So notice they went for 6 on their power meter. Strong move. 5-7 against the 2, so they probably back down here. Maybe not. Fold. Tied at 24. Their power meter's at 6, mine's at 2. problem in this spot. Especially, I would love to dump out the 1-3. If I fold, that's 6 points I'm getting hit with. Just press him on it. A 7 or an 8, they're going to be in a really strong spot. They probably are. They might. They very well might be here. We'll see. 7 or 8. Otherwise, I win the round. It's an 8. I'm in a big hole. 24-6. 7 for their power meter. Three. Folded. So I get the 1 and the 3, so my power meter is going to get a nice boost. So there wasn't a flex because my first card was not higher than my second card because I had both a 1 and a 3. It's rare to win with a 1-3, but it just happened. Let's see. Well, I can't. Oh, I'm really against it here. I can't. No room for error. I can just fold. If it's an 8, they're going to win because we're going to have a draw for the round, but they're going to have enough damage to knock me out. Another 3. See what you got. Hope it's a 6. Or lower. 7. I was actually, okay, I miscounted on that. That clock messes with you. Trying to count down. So I got the win for that particular round, which is huge. I'm still in it 6-5. It reset their power meter. I completely undersold that. I don't want my time to run out. And that 8 to get thrown up there with like a 2. Ruin my hand. I can just fold here. I should have 4 cards come into my hand, and one of them hopefully will pair well with that 8. Flex. So 2 points of damage, but I'm not all that concerned about it here. Down to this last hand. Back it will, unless we both fold. 7-8. Let's see it. If it's double 8, then so be it. I'm done. Otherwise, it's going to be interesting to the point. I don't know how that would work. The 3 doesn't matter. I got the win. Good game. A pretty good demonstration there, the rallies you can have in this game. It looked like I was done for there for a bit. That you could have one round where just a 1-point win flips everything. That's part of the appeal of this game. Good game there. I win back to room 1. LL is asleep. Hello. I'm not sure if we played on stream. I think we played maybe that first day of this. Good spot to throw out a 1-2. Fold to get the extra card. Well, that's tempting to call him. That could be flex, but probably not. Nope. All right, so 25-24 after the first round. 7-8. 5, so they might stick around if they think I'm flexing. In on 1, they go for the double. They will. That's going to break their power meter. Mine's going to go up to 2. 6 and 8. Got the win here. Doubler. Tripler. Gladly will take that. That'll be a 6-point shot to them. Chop. All right. With a 1-3 here. Question is, they might be flexing here. No one chance it. It was tempting. And then it's like a 6-7 and my power meter breaks. A lot of risk with that, and that would have been a bad play because of that. If they'd been flexing, then I would have won regardless of what their second card was point-wise. Because a flex means your first card's higher. A flexing hand always loses to a non-flexing hand. Go to a showdown. 6 and 8. Should be pretty good. It's the 2. They're probably just fold. Fold it. With 3 points of damage. Extends my lead to 9. 23 to 14. Power meter goes to 4. There's a 2. 1, 3. Get the 7 out here or something. 6. Find out. That's a flex. If it's a 5 or lower, I win the round. Otherwise, they do. They win. Not a flex. And you see that the chance I took there, my power meter goes to 1. You got to really pick your spots when it comes to the anticipation of when your opponent's going to be flexing. Five. Problem is, if I'm wrong, that could really put me in a bind. I'll take the pinch for 3 here, unless that could be a flex. It could be a 3 or a 1. I could end up regretting this. We'll see. Nope, 5 to 5. So that was a correct play. All right, 7 and 7. 6, so if they've got an 8, that would be a draw. Otherwise, I win the round. Folded. 6 against a 7, a lot of times, or 5 against a 7 as well. Your opponent will, more often than not, probably fold. At least that's been my experience here early on. Slap. $16 to 13. Their power meter is at 4. Mine's at 2. We'll go the 7 and 7. 6. At worst, it would be a draw if they've got an 8. With a triple. The problem is, if it's a tripler for both of us, that's a 4. They're getting tripled, as opposed to a 2 for me, and that's what's going to happen here. So, okay, I deliver 6 damage. That's great. I'll have to take 12. See? Because we both connected, both of our power meters reset. They lead 7 to 4. That was the right play to fold. They've been playing probably rather tight, so I expect them to do there. But it's hard to know. got an 8. Go to 6, 8. Got 4. Or the tripler. So if they were to win, they fold. They'd be drawing dead anyway. Right. So they leave me 6-3. We both have power meters at 2. 3. It's a 5. That's a flex. They win the match. If I fold here, if I fold, it's a flex. They win the match. I kind of tie them in a fold. We'll see. Bunch of cards too. 5-8. Okay, so I made the right play. They lead 6-1, but I'm still in it. Oh no. Well, 4-5. Yeah, I think they're going to beat me here. We'll see, unless they've got 3. That's a winner for them. How little is the sleep gets the victory. Good game. One, 2, and 3. Defeated. No rewards. And you can tell with their little things they're going to have to fix. If there's some sort of overlay where the hand gets cut off here by this central image. But overall, the artwork in this looks really good. Very high quality. I can see it in particular having this on my large television. I've got all this routed. Back at it to room 1. Ice-ish. All right. 7-8 to start. In some ways, you hate to waste that, knowing it'd probably be like a 2 or a 3 throwaway for the opponent, but that's not always the case. See, there's a 5. Put it for a double. They're going with a tripler. Okay. I'll take it. I'll win that round 15-12. Power meter goes to 2. 5, 6. Kind of a tough spot here. Actually, not too bad against the 3. At worst, they could force a draw. They've got an 8. And with a 3. It's a 7, so I win the round 11-10. Not the worst idea, because if you win a round with a 3 or a 1 in your hand, you get a boost to your power meter. But that's to incentivize playing with those cards, because it's not easy. This will probably be a throwaway. When you fold, you protect your power meter, and you get an extra card for the next hand, up to 6 cards in total. I know I'm repeating some of this information, but I know there are people constantly cycling through. As the nature of live streaming. It was a flex. So I shouldn't have folded, as it turned out. It's a non-flexing hand always beats a flexing hand, but when you fold, you're out of the hand. That's a nice boost to their power meter. Theirs goes to 4, mine's at 3. I lead 23-16 with a 5 and 5 against an 8. That's either double 8s or they're going for a flex. So I'll beat a flex. The only thing I would lose to here is an 8. They're going with a 3. I'm in on it. Sure. That's a double eight, and so be it. Double eight. Point the swing there. 4 points of damage. Their power meter goes to 5. Mine drops to 1. Trail 16 to 11. Folds here. I hate to hit with another 5, but I just don't have the goods. Probably a 7 or an 8, maybe a 6. Yeah, that's a 6. Damage of 5, and they're going to move up to a power meter of 6 now. So in other words, I can't fold unless I'm sure they're going to fold, regardless of what I got in my hand. Okay, well, we can try this a 5-8. If it's a 5, if it's a push, if it's a draw with the same points, they would win the match. Go for a tripler. Doesn't matter. Only have 6. You're not going to knock me out 3 times. It's a winner. 13 to 12. Their power meter goes back to 1. They've still got a sizable lead, 13 to 6, but now my power meter's at 2, and I'm sitting on a 5-8. Up against the 1. They're probably going to fold. They only had 2 cards there, so they're going to get the extra card for the next round. It makes sense. Deliver 2 points of damage. They've still got a 3-point lead, 9 to 6. Pair of 2s out of there. This could be a flex. Not the worst time for them to go for one if that's it. Nope. Straight up 6-7, which is good for me. So I'm going to have 6 cards in my hand for round number 9. And they've got a 6-7 out of their hand. You can see the advantage. I've got 6 cards versus them having 4. I got the nuts right here with a pair of 8s. Up against the 6. That's going to give me 9 points of damage. They'll still be in the match. It's not over. But just pick their round. When you have a pair of 8s, at worst, you're going to have a draw for the round. They're down to 2. Their power meter's back to 1. My power meter is at 4. And I've got a 6-8. Could have gone for just a throwaway here to fold, try and chase something out from them, but no need. With a 6-8, why give them an opportunity? They only have 3 cards. Let's see. Doesn't really matter. Go with 1. They'll probably go 3, and they do. I'll call that for the tripler, but it's immaterial. That would have beaten them with a singler. Nothing single. I don't know what they're supposed to call me. 1, 2, or 3, but I've got enough numbers on my screen. That's where I'm going with. Tripler or not, didn't matter. Good game, Isish. I get the victory. And again, this is the open beta, so I don't actually earn anything with this that will carry over to the game itself. And I don't know what the developers have in mind for anything. I'm just playing this, enjoying it enough, as you can tell. How many nights in a row now have I live streamed this? More. Back to room 1. This is so much better with the compressor on my microphone. I realize you can't see any of this, but it's been very difficult trying to hit the range I need without peaking the microphone. ACG. My first time going against ACG. This would be a nice way to start. 7-8. Got a 6. Let's see what happens by. They're going with a tripler as well, so I'll have this first round have 3 points of damage that I'll deliver. My power meter will go to 3. They were flexing. That's interesting. Unless they've got a 7 or an 8. Probably only if they have an 8 out there. I'll fold this 5. And part of the idea with folding, again, getting that extra card in your hand. Look at the last match. You saw the difference it made there at the end. You don't win every time doing it that way. In this case, I should have folded. I should have. Well, that would have been tough going 3 on that. But it was a flex, a well-timed one at that by ACG. With that 5-1, so they have the flex and the 1-card victory, the number 1, either 1 or a 3, and you get an extra point. As a result, we'll go 2 and 2. Clear this out again. 5. I hate to get hit with 4 points like that, just throwing it. I'm not. I guess the 5. There's too much that can go wrong. Way too much. This is another flex. Bravo, you did it. So a 5-8. What I thought they might have there. My deuce would have had no chance. So I'm down by 3. Their power meter's at 5, mine's at 2, but 5 cards in my deck. With a 6 and 6. Maybe throwing away here on this hand. We'll see. A 7. This could be trouble. They're going with a 3. Got to call them at some point. Let's see what they got. This will be 15 points of damage minimum against me. I was correct and I win. So instead of that, I deliver 6. And it breaks their power meter. They were going for that flex, and sometimes there's no one when to. Playing a pivotal role. We'll drop the 2 and the 4 out there, probably folding against the 6. The risk reward's pretty bad with a power meter of 3 against a 1. Fold here. They're going with a tripler. It's pretty bold, but I've got a 3 and a tripler puts me to 9 versus them having 3, all other things being equal. In this case, it's a flex and a 1 card. See the damage caused there. This power meter is going to go up. Power meter goes up to 4. 6 and 8. We've got a 6. At worst for me, it's to be a draw. The tripler in, they're going to fold. The right play. So it leads 17 to 13. They've got a power meter at 4. I've got a power meter at 4. You know what? Go 4, 5. Ooh, this is a tough one right here. They're sitting on 6-8 or 3-8, so be it. If that's a 7-3, they would win the round. They folded that, so it doesn't matter. Wasn't sure about that one. All right. So my lead's now 17 to 9. Power meter at 5. Clear the queue a bit here. They've got a 6. Not going to chance it. Could be a flex by them. Not too worried about it. I've got 2 cards coming in that could possibly match with that 7. I can go with 5-7 next hand. That was the winner for them, so I did the right thing by folding. Their power meter moves to 5. My lead's down to 4. But I can go 6-7 here. Or no, even better. Get out of there. 7 and 7. It's the 6. Think about this. If it's a doubler, I beat them. If it's a draw and a doubler, I beat them. They don't beat me. They go with a triple, so I've got to call that. I will. I don't know. If it's a 7 for them, I win. Like I win the match. It's an 8. Now what? They're down to 0, but wait for it. With that tripler on their 5, it's like after a ref bump or something, where both wrestlers get a visual pinfall. Was declared the winner. I thought in a case like this, you would both go back to 1 point. But maybe not. I'll have to consult with people that know this better over on Discord. This is NashvilleLou Live. I'm Lou Pickney. Just past midnight now, Nashville time. Still going. Blockchain Brawlers, open beta on Steam. Room 1. Who's up next? Find out. Another match with ACG. Up a 1-3 out here against the 4. I'm not going to chance it. And again, when you fold, you get the extra card for your next hand. It stays that way for the rest of the match. 4-2s, they flexed. So double points to them. If I would have called them there, I would have won because I wasn't flexing. But I didn't. 6 against a 2. They'll probably fold. Yep. Not a surprise. So even now, both with 23 points, both with power meters at 2. Take the extra card. The flex, should have called. Another well-timed flex by ACG. Oh, brutal. Brutal. Pair of 2s. Got an 8. We have 3 more cards next hand. We both folded. All right, 6 and 8. Doubler. Fold. Yeah. They maintain the lead 22-19. Both have 3 on our power meter. It's the 3. Not a good spot when you're throwing out a 1-3. Oh, it was a flex. Wow. They've had some well-timed flexes. I got to hand it to ACG. Right place and time with that. Another power meter's up to 8. 22-13 lead. Let's see what we got here. Doubler. They got me, then so be it. 6 or higher, they win this round. I think the match as well. Otherwise, I'm still in it. They win. solid round by ACG. I think there were 3 different times where they went with the flex and it worked every time. And you see how decisively they won 22-0, a drubbing. Good game. ACG with the win. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Stream's not done, not by a long shot, but we need a quick break. Be right back. NashvilleLou Live. Blockchain Brawlers. Open beta on Steam. Back in a minute. All right. Yeah, that music a little bit loud there. Wasn't drowning myself out. All right. Heading back into room 1. It's Scotty Wide-Eye and the open beta release of Blockchain Brawlers, available on Steam. BCG for another. All right. Mix it up a little bit. We'll go with a 7-3. Start with a flex. They folded. So I get the flex and the 3 card with a winning hand. When you do that, you get a bonus for your power meter for the next round. So 2 points doubled with the flex. The power meter times 2. Start at 1, which is why it's not a bad time to do that. There's not a lot to gain and not necessarily be looking out of the game. So I'm up to 4 now in my power meter. I'm 25 to 23. Throw these out. Almost for sure going to fold this hand. Get the extra card for next time. Here we're going with a triple. We're going aggressively. Right call to fold. All right. Yeah. You know what? With 5 and 5 here. I get 6. Ooh. Don't like it that much. They were going with a tripler. I made the right decision to fold. Take the 2 damage. With the fold to get the extra card. Also, because I didn't lose in a showdown, I folded. My power meter stays at 4. They lead by 1. Eesh. Rid of the pair of 2s here against the 5. They're going in strong with it. We'll see. The winner. ACG moves to a 23-19 lead. Both of us have a power meter at 4. Pair of 6s here behind us. Against a 6 and a question mark, not so nice. 1. Going triple. Let's see. Give me 6-7 or 6-8. I would lose the round. Big swing. That's what happened. Got me with a 6-7. Power meter moves to 5. Mine breaks and resets at 1. They lead 23-7. 5-7 here. Tripler, I don't worry about it because it's either going to be yay or nay for me at this point. Well, this is the first time I've seen 4 of the same card number-wise in a deck or in a hand. Don't like my chances there. They know they can just lay back and wail away. Guessing I don't know what they're going for. They folded there. Wow. Beautiful. 4 and a 5. So I got an okay chance here, maybe. Folded. Right. Needed that. Well, if you play too tight in this game, it won't work out so well for you. Timing is everything. Oh, let's see. They're going to think I'm bluffing, though, if I go in with a 8-3. This is probably a strong hand for them here. We'll see. With a 1. Let's see. It's a winner. ACG. Back-to-back victories over me. Decisively back-to-back victories over me. This round, we get uninvited from that tournament on Wednesday. Good game. And no rewards. Not this time. Again, these are just basically placeholders, demonstrative of what it may look like when the game finally launches. Right now, Blockchain Brawlers is in open beta. 1. about 90 minutes now. Here we go with LL is Asleep. Rematch from earlier tonight. Six, 7's a pretty nice way to start. The 5, so at worst, we'll be able to force a draw. We would need an 8 to do that. We're going with a 3. They may have an 8. They're betting hard like that with a 5 against a 6. Although that may have been their bet out of the gate anyway. It was an 8. So it's a draw for the round. We both connect. In this case, we both started with their power meters at 1, so there's no resetting. It just we both stay at 1. The damage done to both sides, both at 22. This out of here. It's 2-3. It's getting an extra card in. They've got a 7. Although it's tempting. It's real tempting. Ooh. I'm not going to. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is going to be a 7 and 7 or 7 and 8. This feels like a time that they would flex. Nope. It was the right play. All right. 7 and 8. Pretty strong. It's a 6. I've got this for sure. Tripler. We'll call. I'm going to win this round. It's only going to be a 3-point strike as far as their damage is concerned, but it breaks their power meter. Only a 2. It wasn't a bad hand for them to play on. They caught me with a 7 and an 8. They'll have that sometimes. So 15-14, I'll win that round. Like 21-19. Pair of 7s, they can't beat me here. Want a tripler. Just hoping they might chase because they didn't have as much to lose. That's fine. All right, 7 and 7. Keep in mind is how many cards your opponent has, because when they fold, just like when you folded, you get an extra card for your next round. Same is true for them. I think about probability. Got the round either way. Folded, so it didn't matter. Three points of damage with a pair of 7s. 21-14 lead. Power meter now at 4. I'll probably fold on this next hand. It's 2 and 4. These I could go 2-3, but go with a 2-3. There's an 8 out there. Let's see. I guess the 3. The risk reward isn't there because of the power meter differential. I hate the thought of going down, swinging and missing because I played aggressive with a 2-3. Hold it right there, get the extra card for my next hand. It would have been a very narrow win for them, but they would have won 6-5 if I hadn't folded. But the pair of 3s gives them a big boost. That was a very well-timed pair of 3s for them. All right. Big cards, 7 and 8. At worst, this would be a draw. They've got an 8 as well, their back card. And the 2, they're thinking about it. Fold. So 4 points of damage delivered. They're down to 10. Got a 20-10 lead, but their power meter's still there. That fold, maintain that 6. They get the extra card for the next hand as well. So they're at the max 6. I've got a pair of 6s I could go with here, but really a better time to throw the 2-4. Probably just. Well, they're sitting on a 6 though that would hit me, but still think it's the right move. Time's running out. Stuck, and not going to chance it. I mean, there's no way I was going to stare down that triple. No way. Because I would have been in a very bad spot had I done that. Now he's going to get hit with 6 points. And he hit with 18 points of damage, even worse. And I still lead 14-10. 7-7. Call me on the double or I win the match. They've got a 3, so they're probably going to fold, and they will. I have to be somewhat careful here because if I just flippantly throw out like a 2-4 and they've got something that can double their power meter, the curtains, pair of 6s. Okay, so at worst, it'd be a draw for the round. It'd be interesting if nothing else. Let's put in for the single. They forced me to go for a doubler. Okay. And they folded. I'm not quite sure why. Because they were drawing dead. I had 6 my power meter. They only had 5 left in their life meter. And that's it for the round. And I avenged my earlier loss. The victory over LL is asleep. Good game. 10. Formalities and all, so we get the victory. Back to room 1. And there are some little things, like versus 4 room 1. Typos or extra words that sure I've already worked through to a large degree. And I'm not sure what the interface is going to look like. I'm hoping it's a lot more robust as far as listing instead of just a timer. But this is the nature of an open beta. Fewer people playing overall. Rematch with LL is asleep. Here's a 2-4. Tripler. There's a flex. That's a good opening round's not a bad time to flex. Plus they got the 1. When you can do something like that, I mean, it's 2 points of damage, but the power meter goes up to 4. They're gonna fold. Probably. The only way they'd play that is if they thought I was trying to flex. So down by 1. 6-8. All right, so they can't beat me this round. A lot of times your opponent will fold if you've got a 6 and they got a 5. Same is true if you've got a 6 and they got a 4. And that's what's going to happen here. But they protect their power meter, which stays at 4. Mine moves up to 3. I've got a 23-22 lead. 5-7. 5 cards there, so they've got some options. If that's an 8, I'm in deep trouble if I play against it aggressively, but At some point, you got to pick your spot, right? Going with a 3. Maybe they've got a 7. In which case, we both deliver damage. We reset both of our meters. 8. Well, that's what I was afraid of. That's what happened. Their power meter moves to 5. 22 to 11. And 8. Only way I lose this round is if they've got an 8 as their back card again. Could happen. I'm the 4 against the 5, so this is going to be a little interesting. And a doubler. It's an 8. I'm in a huge hole here. 22 to 1. 1 point left. 1. And they know that I've got to press, so as much as the 7-1 would be tempting. This will probably be it for this particular match. If I got a 5, I'll win the round, but otherwise, what was a flex? 5 or lower. That's it. Although I've got the 1 point left of health, so it doesn't really matter with that power meter. They can get a little bit looser with it there. Flexing with the 8 and the 1. So if their card is a 5 or higher and they call me, then they'll win the match. If not, I'm alive for another round. And a 1. Calling me, knowing that it's probably a flex unless I got a pair of 8s there, in which case I'm only delivering a couple of points of damage, so why not call? But they flexed as well. Oh my goodness. Wow. Kicking out 2.99 there. I'm still in a bad spot, but 11 to 1. Flex again. Let's see. Will they call me on the tripler? They will. I've got 9. If they've got a 7 or an 8, it'll be over. If not, I think I win. But it's an 8. LL is asleep, gets the victory. Good match. LL is asleep, victorious over me. NashvilleLou Live, streaming worldwide on Twitch, playing the open beta, blockchain Brawlers. Available on Steam. I'm not sure what the timetable is at this point for the full game release. And I imagine the developers want to be careful. They don't want to promise something by a certain date and then have some unexpected difficulties arise. Right now at about 12:30 a.m. Nashville time. This has been the time the last couple of nights that options for opponents have run a bit dry. There are only a finite number of people that are at this point participating in the open beta. It's very new. But I'll stick with the room here. It'll time me out at 90 seconds. Give it at least one more go through. And then that might be it. I hesitate to take a break or even to pause for a little bit, as long as there are people wanting to play. Got timed out from the room. We'll go back again. Try it another time. See if anybody's in there wanting to play. A really good match the other day from DDT out of Japan on their Wrestle Universe service. Higuchi taking on Takeshita. I mean, some of it was uncomfortable with the headbutts that they used. I think there were certain lessons from Katsuyori Shibata, Nigel McGuinness of like, maybe you shouldn't do that. But it was a tremendous match. Very hard hitting. There's some New Japan Pro Wrestling I need to catch up on. It's tough for me because they do so many ref bumps and the outside interference. And like when you put that in your video montage, guess what? That doesn't get heat on the heels. That gets heat on you as the promotion for thinking we're rude enough to just go along with it. Oh, so it's so unnecessary too. How many years now we've been with no cheering fans in Japan, and they're doing these same tired heat spots to silence over and over and over. And I understand why they're interference heat spots. I know why AEW does them. They do them too much. It was telling that they tried to make it a big thing with the brewy finishes and Arthur Ashe. They like do an angle with Paul Turner, but it immediately breaks my suspension of disbelief because it's just, don't do that. Is it that tough? Just give us some great matches. You've got some of the best wrestlers on the planet. You've got the best collection of promos that any company has ever had. Ever. Give me WWF 1985 on its best day. Forget about it. Take that hacky schlock and stick it in the past. Here we go. LL is asleep. Back again. Point is, AEW. Just treat it like a sport. Make it serious. Make everything blood serious. All the Memphis rules. The USWA was about as minor league of a 1990s federation you were going to find. But they lasted a very long time for a number of reasons. Bold here against that 3 with a 1-4. But you had 3 things. Star power. Mostly it was Jerry Lawler, his son. And then Jerry Jarrett's son, Jeff Jarrett. So Ryan Christopher, Jeff Jarrett there. And guys that were making next to nothing. What they called a Tennessee payday. But their feuds were deadly serious. And the championships were highly coveted. And because of that, they managed to stay alive and keep making enough money to keep going. All the way to 1997, where that fell apart. I've got at least a draw here for sure. They're sitting on a 4. They're going to call me here. So, at worst for me, it's a draw. It's a 7, so I win the round. Breaks their power meter, which will reset at 1. But, I mean, go back to the first Ring of Honor pay-per-view that Tony Khan ran back in over WrestleMania weekend. And it was like AEW, but with referees allowed to actually be smart. It didn't hurt the product any. They didn't have run-ins, interference, etc. And I get why they do it. I understand why they do it. I just have a very philosophically different outlook on it. But I can still enjoy their product nonetheless and say, hey, it's not the way I would have done it. Don't feel great about this. Time's running low. We'll fold. They're the winner. The folding was the right decision. They would have had a 13-9 win if we would have had a showdown. Go 6-7. They're going to almost for sure fold. Yep. Which is fine. The only reason that you would go against somebody in that case if you had a 2 and they had a 6, if you thought that they were flexing, because a non-flexing hand always beats a flexing hand. Flexing hand is where the first card is higher point-wise than the second card. 6 and an 8. 8 is the highest card you can have. So this is probably another throwaway round for them. Yep. They fold the hand. We'll get an extra card in their next round. The way it works in this game. Part of the balance of it. 3 points of damage delivered. I'd like to go 1-3 here. Could go 6-8, but I'd rather do it this way. It's a 5. Unless I thought they were flexing, and they might be. It's not the worst spot to do it. They know I'm going to be playing tighter because I've got the longer or the stronger streak or power meter. I can't feel too bad folding a 1 and a 3. Even if you can win with that hand, great. That's against a 5. I'm glad they had the 8 on the backside. Get that out of their hand. So my lead is trimmed to 3, 21-18. Power meter remains intact at 4. I can go with 6 and 8 here. They've got 5 cards. They probably have a decent draw. 7. If they've got an 8, they win the round. Tripler. Big swing right here. I can't fold the 6-8. It's not going to happen. Hope they got like a 7-7 here. And they could have been trying to flex, but that would be an odd spot. If it was a flex. They almost got me. Although with a 6-8, you just can't. You could. It would be foolish to do so. All right. 1 and 2. I'm almost tempted to hang in there because they've got a pair of 8s. That would be. I bet you they're trying to flex here. Who's got pair of 8s? I should have folded, but we'll have the 20-6 lead. 6 and 7. 6. Double, they're going to triple. Okay, they've got an 8. They'll win the round. My power meter's only at 1, so I've got nothing to lose on that. It's a draw for the round, but they'll deliver more damage because of the power meter. However, they don't have much room health-wise. Their meter's down to 3. So I lead 14-3. Both of our meters are now at 1. Could try and go 5-8 here. Instead, I'm going to toss out a 1-4, probably to fold it. I went in with 2. I folded, so it'll be 1 point of damage. 4 and a 4, they win the hand. I was right to fold. 13-3. Their power meter's at 2. Do 1-3 here. 5. Out. Toss that out. So we'll get it with 2. Plus, they could get a boost here. Nope. 5 and an 8. So they didn't flex like I thought they might be considering there. For 8. At least one of their 8s out of their hand. They still got a 11-3 lead, so an 8-point lead. 5 and 5. 6. Fold. This might be a spot where they flexed. Nope. Straight up. My lead is now 8-3. Their power meter is at 4. It's a 5. If we just go with a doubler, they would end my game, and I would not be able to end theirs. So we'll go triple, and they're going to fold. Fine. Two more cards to go here. Got a pair of 5s at least. A pair of 7s will work. Against the 6. No need to raise as far as any doublers or triplers. They probably will. Doubler. They would beat me with a doubler. Or it'd be a draw if it's 14-14. So let's see. An 8. It's an 8. All right, so 4 damage delivered. If they're doubler with a 4, 8 damage delivered to me, I'll drop to a 0 as well. This is like one-man gang versus Kinsuke Sasaki. Starrcade 95 after the main event, the pay-per-view went off the air, and they did the Phantom title change for the WCW United States Championship. So it says winner, but maybe I did win if I had the stronger attack, but I thought it reset to 1. Regardless, I won't complain. I'll take it. It says a win. No argument here. Approaching 2 hours of the live stream. As long as there are people ready to play, I'm ready to keep going here at least for a little while. This is going to be so much easier on my voice with the compressor. It might sound like I'm talking gibberish with the audio stuff, but I'm having to strain my voice to get it to be loud enough to be heard, not too loud so it doesn't peak the mic. Any advantages you can get as a broadcaster with that, you'll take. Game's a lot of fun. And to reiterate, this pro wrestling theming, clearly. LL is Asleep's got another match with me. But this is a strategy game. Let's 6-6. Let's go 6-1. Flex here early. If they got a 5-3, they would beat with a flex. 5-5 or higher, they would win. Folded. So I got the flex and the 1. The flex doubles the damage. The 1 card gives the boost. A 4 for my power meter. And that 1, 2, 3, that's like single, double, triple. So it's that number times your power meter. You win on a match, on a showdown. We'll go 6-7. Ooh. They might have an 8. They only came in with a 1, so they probably don't have an 8. Could be them trying like a 6-3. Well, maybe not. Maybe a 6-6, and I win the round. Maybe a 6-7, and we split it. Oh, it's a 6 and an 8. They win the round. So 6-6. We'll save the 8. I normally would just play it immediately, but try something a little different. Well, they're just throwing this one away anyway, so fine. Probably. Well, that's what I get for presuming, huh? They just throw it away. With 1, they're going to go with 2. I've got the round regardless. Not the worst move then. With a pair of 1s, because if I get spooked and fold thinking that they're trying to, if I'd been trying to flex and folded, or if I had stuck in there and flex, a 1 and 1 beats a 6 and 5 hand or whatever. Because a non-flexing hand always beats a flexing hand. 2, 3, and I can fold my way out of this. It was a flex. I should have called. So that's a flex with a 3. And if you win a hand round with a 3 or a 1 card, you get a boost for your next round for your power meter. Look, up to 4. That's how this game can move back and forth quickly without feeling like it's cheap or just outside of your control. Sometimes you'll get a rotten draw, but that's true in any card game. Okay, I got the round. We'll go with a 3 to act like I'm trying to scare him off the spot. Came in at a 1. They're going to call me. I'm going to win the round and I'm going to break the power meter. Four and 8, not the worst time to come in on it. Thinking that I might have like a 6-3 or 6-1, or even a 6-5. As weird as that sounds, go for that high flex. I've seen it work for opponents. I don't typically go in that direction with it. But you have to sometimes. Okay, 5 and a 6 and 8 would beat me here. A 7, we would draw. We'll go 2. The doubler, the folds, so it doesn't matter. Power meters at 4. 21-12 lead. And we'll go with a 2-4. Clear the queue here. We'll go 6 cards for the next round. When you fold, you get an extra card for your next hand that stays for the duration of the match, up to 6 cards. 5 and 5. It was the right move to fold. All right, 20-12. I can go with a 6-7 here. The 3, that's probably going to be a fold. Indeed. Four points of damage. My lead is now at 20-8. Power meter's at 5. Theirs is at 2. So if I have a doubler on this next round and I win, then I win the match. Dump a 2-4. Save that 3. Fold. There's a flex. I would have won, even though 7 is greater than 6. A non-flexing hand always beats a flexing. 6 and 7 here. We'll hopefully put us in a decent spot. And a doubler with this power meter, and I win. So the only thing that would beat me this hand is an 8. Going with 3. They may have an 8. They do. So I'm down to 1 as far as my health meter, 1 as far as my power meter. 5 and 6. They're sitting on 6 cards, so if they stocking up with something, I might be up against it here. The 2, so they're just going to dump this round. Fine. Almost for sure going to fold, and they folded. So 1 point of damage, but it's still a 7-1 lead for my opponent. 2 cards come in. Hopefully I can stack a pair with this 5. My card would be nice. And I didn't get it. 6. This is probably going to be my demise right here. Go with a tripler because it doesn't matter. When you got 1 point, what does it matter? Triple. There's the winner. It's a leg drop. LL is asleep victorious. As I've noted before, this part of the game, the animation, there's a lot more that's coming with this. That's where that 40%, that back end of it. They got the gameplay right. They got it where it's the glitches were as minimal as you could hope for a game at this particular point in this open beta. I'm going again. The past 2 hours. Part of this, I'm not sure once the open beta session, when that run ends, how much of a lag there's going to be until the full game launch. It's fun playing this while I can. And that, to me, was as important as anything, was that the fun factor be there. You know, there are plenty of games out there. If I want to go and click something once an hour, there's plenty of options for that. But the time factor, I think this is great for live stream. This game, it reminds me in some ways of speed chess, but I'm no chess grandmaster, okay? So I can't, that they can do all that in their head, that's like up there with the scam baiters, like Kid Boga playing a character, or Noah Poison, Harvey Dent, are doing shout outs. I'll hurt somebody's feelings if I don't mention each and every one of them. The point being, it's tough to do a lot of things, multitasking. But this, for me, is something that I can do. It's fast-paced enough where I'm not sitting around bored except for waiting to match with somebody. And that's more of a symptom of this being an open beta than anything. The gameplay itself is solid. And there is risk that somebody could be watching my stream and use that to beat me. But this is just, these are friendlies. Not too worried about it. Give it one more try in the room. Nobody else matches, and that's going to be goodbye and good night for this episode 5, Blockchain Brawlers Open Beta on NashvilleLou Live here on Twitch. And here we go. Another match with LL is asleep. Open with a 1-2. I'll fold here. I mean, there's a chance that they could be going for like a 3-1. But I'd rather fold and get the extra card than maybe catch them on it. So they win the opening round. 3 cards to join my 4 for this second round. pair of eights. Win the round. No matter if they're going to chase. They may think I'm trying to bluff here because an 8 and a question mark. If it's anything else, it's a flex. They fold it. But let's say they've also been trying to flex with a 4-3. If they had a 4-3 and I had an 8-1 with a flex, I would win the round because we'd both be flexing. At that point, it goes to the points. 16 is going to beat whatever you pair with 4. 8 is the highest number in the game as far as any individual card goes. So we're tied. Got a nice spot there with that power meter. Hopefully I can catch him here with the 6-7. With a doubler. Folding. What I figured. You see our 2 or 3 pop out like that. Quite frequently, that's a sign that they're going to fold. But not always. They're going to think it's kind of rotten luck to run into 8 and 8 back to back like that. With a 7, I'll go with a triple or act like I'm trying to bully my way out of this. They're going to call. Doesn't matter what they have. I've got the round. 9-point damage, and it's going to break their meter, their power meter. Reset at 1. See? That's tough. When you're sitting at 7 and 8, normally you're going to win, but in this case, 16 beats 15. So now my lead's at 24-13. Their power meter's reset. My power meter's at 4. I can do a 1-2 fold here, essentially. As much as I could stick around to see if they've got a lower card trying to flex or a 1 or a 3 to really make a nice combo. Just not worth the risk with my power meter at 4, and there's a 1. And I should have, though. See? If I would have called, it would have been a tripler on a 4. It would have been 12 points of damage. They would have been at 1. But would have, could have, should have. I didn't. 22-13, the lead. We both have 4 points on our respective power meters. I'll go 7 and 7. They've got a 6, so at worst for me, it's a draw. Six against the 7. A lot of times your opponent will fold. They didn't hear. They're going with a 1. Or they go with a 2. They will. So it's either a draw or I win the round. It's a draw. 14 against 14. Neither of us flexing. And so we both deliver the points, and both of our power meters will reset. Fine by me because I've got the lead. We'll both be back at 1 on our respective power meters. I've got the lead 14-5. Loads lower cards here. Thought about sticking around, but I decided it'd be better to get the extra card, get the 2 and 4 out of there. Got a 6. That was the right play. They went to 3 and 8. Their favor with that 3 card gave them the boost up to 4 on their power meter. That's how it works in this game. Otherwise, people would just be playing very tight and take all the fun out of it. We'll go 6-7 here. They got this. Yeah, they don't have enough to get me here. We have the 1 as far as the. They've got a lot more to lose than I do. And they're at 4 looking at a 6, which almost always means a fold. Yep. $13-4. But their power meter is still intact. Mine moves to 2. Dump for 1s here. Let's see. Bit of a risk. Hoping he's flexing. Oh, it's not a flex. Boom. So I still got the lead, but things have changed dramatically. 5-4. With the 6-8. And they've got some latitude. Oh, they're going with a 3 as well. Uh-oh. That was a poor decision. That'll break their meter. I'll go to 3, or the damage will be 3. They'll drop to 1. It doesn't really matter how many points I've got in my power meter at this point anyway. Next hand could win it for me. Their meter going back to 1 helps a lot. I can say, okay, I'll just dump about a 3-4 here. They have to go for it unless they think I'm going to fold. Doesn't matter that I've got anything in my power meter. Doesn't matter at all. Oh, they beat me if it's not a flex. It's a push. 6 damage there. A tripler on a 1. That's only 3 damage to me. So I win. What a back and forth match. Went 11 rounds. You can see there I am with 2 points. So I took the damage as well, but because I've got 2 and they've got 0, that's game. In those types of scenarios are going to be something I imagine will be fixed between now and the full publication of the game. 60% complete is there for a reason. That's notation. Back at it. I'm Lou Pickney. This is NashvilleLou Live, worldwide on Twitch. Playing the new game, Blockchain Brawlers. Open beta. Available on Steam. Free. Here's the latest look at the leaderboard. Those are overall wins. It's not a matter of win percentage, as I understand it. The match with LL is asleep. Some good ones tonight. Six and 8 to start. That's a throwaway for them, I'm guessing. Fold. No, it's not. Wow. That's a surprise. They had an 8. I'm surprised they made that play. Huh. But not much stakes-wise because it's that first round. The power meters are both at 1. You got full health. You got some latitude. 3-4. I'll just fold this out. But strategically, my opponent knows that I might be inclined to do that here. There's a flex. Less important than the 2 points of damage delivered is to boost the power meter for the next round to go up to 4. Six and 8 is pretty strong. It's a 1. They're going to fold, I'm guessing. Although after the first round, I shouldn't guess anything. Huh? It's a fold. Let's flex. Against the 3. Fold. So I get the flex and the boost for my power meter for the next round. With a strike, it takes my opponent down to 15 points. 8-point lead for me. Power meter up to 6. 4. We'll just fold out of this. Go to the next hand with 5 cards in total. One of them being 6 that's sitting. They've got a 5 out there. I'm not going to worry about that at all. If you're chasing after a tripler here and they've got a 4 on their power meter, there's good reason to fold. Besides the extra card in the next round. And purging the 2 and 4 out of my deck for this round. For those particular cards. There are more in there. Not so bad. 6 and 6. Let's see what they got. Up against the 6. I don't like this. Ooh, I don't like this. They came in with 1. You can't re-raise, so they're going to call me here. Doubler. Let's see what they got. They may have a 7, but it's an 8. They win the round. Doubler on a 5 on the power meter. So 10 points of damage delivered. My power meter's back to 1. They lead 15-9. Out of this. Hoping they do as well. Good. They're sitting on 6 cards. I got to play it. I mean, I've got... No. Smart. 7 and 8 at worst for me. That's going to be a push. Draw. Although that's going to be a hard hit, though, if it is. Because they've got 6 on their power meter. I've got 1 on mine. Got to hope that's not an 8, and it's not. It's a 7. A small amount of damage, but a huge amount as far as the shift on the power meter. My deficit is 4 points, but I've got high cards here. We'll go 5 and 5 against the 6. Stick around at least 4. We're going with a triple. Do I want to go with that? No. Let's see. That was a flex. It was a mistake for me to fold. We'll see. There's a flex. Power meter goes to 4. They lead 13-7. Yeah, I've got this round for sure. I hope they have an 8. That'd be great. They're folding. So they'll get 2 points of damage. They'll still have a 4-point lead. Eleven to 7. I got to throw a 4-3 here to head. Weird as that sound. They got something that's like a... Well, I don't think I did this very well at all. Okay, hope that they're not going with a flex here. Okay, I made the right play. Now trail 11-3. See if I can pair something with one of these fives. Pair a 5 with a 5. Okay. 7. They probably have the goods on me here. We'll go with the tripler. They're at a 1, but I don't know if it's going to matter. Let's see. A 10 against the 7 and a question mark. That's a 7 or 8. They win. It is 8. They win a match. LL is asleep, victorious over me. There you have it. No rewards. There are people that will tell you you have to have outside interference and run-ins and manager nonsense to have pro wrestling work in the United States. And anybody saying that, I say you're wrong. I say the proof is from 2017. I was there in person. So was Tony Khan. We were both ringside. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Long Beach, California. Long Beach Convention Center. They need a bunch of ref bumps. Didn't need Red Shoes going through his played out routine. And my God, go back and watch early Wrestle Kingdom where he's treating Great Bash Heel just like he's treating Bullet Club now. It's like they figured out one way to do things. Like they're Vince McMahon, one way to do things. We're going to do it that way for 20 years. Now, that's not to downplay most of the great things that New Japan Pro Wrestling has done. But it's just inexplicable to me. I think the difference between AEW and New Japan, AEW will actually listen to his fan base. Now, sometimes they don't. That's still an issue. But by and large, it's remarkable how effective they are at listening and adjusting on the fly. All right. So this is going to dump me out of the room with no matches. We'll try one more time. I mean, it's 2:13 a.m. Eastern time. Nashville time, it's 1:13. So we'll see. If there's a match, we'll play again. If not, that'll be it for the stream. It would be very interesting if Stardom out of Japan was able to get some sort of television exposure here in the United States. For as much as pro wrestling is oversaturated on American television, I mean, WWE is its own thing. Its own like weird fetish pieces made for the crazy old man who's still even though he's not in power anymore, he's still the top stockholder of that company. So keep that in mind. But Stardom is something where it's an all-women's company. And I think that approach makes so much more sense. You know, if there's one major disagreement I have with Tony Khan, it was that going with men's and women's with a smaller roster, especially initially. But, that was something he wanted to make a priority, and they've done a very good job with it being a priority. But it almost at times feels like they're trying to fill a quota. Okay, it's time for the women's segment, as opposed to just women's wrestling that with great world-class talent women. So last time through the room here, if anybody's in here, we'll match up, we'll play. And if not, that'll be it for the feed. Oh, I mentioned this before, that compressor. I don't feel like I have to strain my voice to make it sound correct here on the feed. It may be a little bit low. Maybe I'll go through some of the music's too loud. And some of these songs are a little bit louder than others. I try to get them where they're all equalized to the same level, but sometimes easier said than done. with some of the music I have, it was cut in like 45-second chunks because I was using them for face-offs or certain situations in the NHL '04 rebuild game that was, and still is, a lot of fun to play. It's just when my hands are hurting after playing your game, there's a problem. And the problem is me. You get old and stuff doesn't start working as well anymore. It's an unfortunate spoiler for you. All right, so if nobody matches the next 10 seconds, it'll boot me from the room, and that'll be it for the stream. Got in excess of 2.5 hours with this. And time has flown by, at least for me. All right. So that's it for this broadcast of NashvilleLou Live. Playing Blockchain Brawlers. Blockchain Brawlers is in open beta right now on Steam. That's it for this broadcast. Thanks for watching. See you next time.